What does true strength look like? Is it quietly absorbing insults? Is it playing along with a rigged game just to appear polite? Or is it standing in the heart of the storm, facing down your accusers and refusing to legitimize a lie, even for a second? You are about to witness a moment that the media tried to frame as weakness, but was in fact one of the most powerful displays of presidential strength we've seen in our lifetime. This is the story of a political hit job that backfired, spectacularly exposing the deep-seated corruption and dirty tricks of the establishment. The setting: a congressional hearing room in Washington, D.C. The time: late. Well, after 10 p.m. It's the witching hour in the swamp, the time when they stage their ambushes, hoping the cameras are rolling, but the target is tired and off guard. And right on cue, a freshman congresswoman from Texas, Jasmine Crockett, known more for her partisan theatrics and viral clips than any actual legislative achievement, leaned into her microphone. Her voice was a rehearsed, almost eerie calm, a tone carefully crafted not for finding truth, but for maximum political impact. This was the moment they had been waiting for. Crockett: Mr. President, I'd like to turn our attention to a matter of national security. We have come into possession of sealed documents which indicate a DNA link between you and a woman the public has never heard of. The chamber, filled with her allies, feigned a collective theatrical gasp. The curtain had just gone up on their latest show. Media vultures, who had clearly been tipped off, froze. Their fingers hovered over their keyboards, ready to blast out the breaking alerts. Cameras instinctively zoomed in on President Trump, ready to capture the kill shot. But what they captured instead was the real-time transformation of a man's face from sheer disbelief to pure righteous anger. How many times had he faced these baseless, disgusting smears? He leaned forward, his hands gripping the table, his voice booming with the frustration of a man who has endured years of relentless, sick attacks. That's nonsense. Absolute nonsense. This is ridiculous. Stop this. Cut it out. Now, listen carefully to that. That wasn't a plea. It wasn't the sound of a guilty man panicking. It was a command, a refusal to participate in their sham. He was telling them and the world that he would not dignify this garbage with the credibility of a nationally televised response. This was his house, his administration, and he would not let them burn it down with lies. But this pivotal exchange, just 47 seconds of raw, unfiltered fury, was what they wanted. They thought they'd cracked his armor. Congresswoman Crockett, completely unfazed and clearly reading from a prepared script, pressed on. Crockett: These documents, Mr. President, are not gossip. They're not from a tabloid. They come from sealed federal files. The American people deserve to know if this information was disclosed to national security officials. Do you see the trick? It's a classic. Wrap a disgusting personal smear in the flag of national security to make it sound legitimate. She wasn't interested in the truth. She was trying to trap him in a procedure argument. The president saw it coming from a mile away. He wasn't going to let them pivot from their lie to a debate about procedure. He cut him at the knees. We're not doing this. We're not going to sit here and talk about personal nonsense. Somebody cut the cameras. Shut them off right now. Of course, they didn't. In today's media landscape, the machine was already in motion. Reporters were live tweeting every word, twisting his righteous anger into panic, his defense of decency into an admission of guilt. But to understand what really happened that night, you have to pull the camera back. You have to look beyond the cheap theatrics. This was never about a secret daughter. It was about one thing, and one thing only: distraction. While the Democrats and their media allies were staging this circus, what was President Trump actually doing for the American people? Let's look at the record they were so desperate to hide. He had wrestled inflation down to a manageable 2.7%. The stock market was hitting record highs, building real wealth for millions of American families, not just the coastal elites. He achieved a full employment rate of 4.2%, bringing jobs and opportunity back to communities that had been hollowed out for decades. The economy was growing at a powerful 3%. He had finally secured the southern border. He forged new, landmark trade deals with the EU and Japan that were bringing trillions in foreign investment back to our shores. And he had set back Iran's nuclear ambitions indefinitely, making the world a safer place. That is the record they wanted to distract you from. Their strategy has never changed. If you can't beat his policies, try to destroy the man. They are the party of chaos, obsessed with tearing down what they could never hope to build themselves. And who is the person they chose to lead this pathetic charge? Congresswoman Crockett has faced widespread criticism for what many see as a completely manufactured political persona. She's been accused of adopting a fake ghetto hood rat act despite a privileged upbringing and a private school education. It's a calculated, cynical attempt to seem authentic to a base she clearly looks down on. But it comes off as exactly what it is, an act. And in a moment of stunning hypocrisy, it was Crockett herself who once said that most Black people have very conservative values but can't vote Republican because of perceived racism. Think about that. She openly admits the values align, yet her entire political strategy is based on stoking division and emotional manipulation to keep people on the Democrat plantation. It's the modern left's playbook: silence dissent, punish free speech, and burn down any institution that stands in your way. President Trump, in his uniquely blunt and, let's be honest, often humorous way, diagnosed the issue perfectly. She is a low, very IQ individual, a country-destroying moron, only slightly dumber than the rest of them. These radical left lunatics should all be forced to take a cognitive exam, just like the one I aced. Remember, person, woman, man, camera, TV. It's rarely seen. The doctors were very impressed. His point, while playful, is deadly serious. We are being governed by people who prioritize partisan attacks over sound judgment, performance art over policy. Back in the hearing room, the president had heard enough. He made one final, powerful stand. He stood up, his chair screeching across the floor, a sound that underscored the raw tension, and he pointed, not at Crockett, but directly at the source of the lies, the cameras broadcasting the sham to the world. Turn them off. Do you hear me? Turn them off. This is personal. This is private. This is not for television. He wasn't hiding from the truth. He was protecting the dignity of the office of the president from being debased by a disgusting, politically motivated smear. Crockett, seeing her chance, seized on his words, twisting his defense of privacy into an admission of guilt. Crockett: Mr. President, with all due respect, you are not a private citizen. You are the commander-in-chief, and you are accountable to the American people. The sheer arrogance, using his title against him, as if being commander-in-chief means you are obligated to sit there and silently absorb every lie the opposition throws at you. The president's face went crimson, not with shame, but with pure, unadulterated fury at the injustice of it all. Lies, absolute lies. I have no secret daughter, none. You should be ashamed of yourself. This is a witch hunt. That's all this has ever been. Witch hunt after witch hunt. You people are sick. His words spilled out, not like a man desperately plugging holes in a sinking boat, but like a dam of righteous anger finally breaking. He was speaking for the millions of Americans who are sick and tired of the endless investigations, the fake scandals, the Russia hoaxes, and the non-stop, baseless attacks.
This hearing wasn't about accountability. It was a political assassination attempt that failed. It revealed that the president's opponents have nothing left in their arsenal but character assassination. They can't run on their record, so they resort to fake papers and garbage accusations manufactured in the dark corners of the swamp. The real truth that emerged that night is this: President Donald Trump is a fighter. He has withstood every witch hunt, every smear, and every ambush they've thrown at him, and he's still standing, stronger than ever. His secrets aren't the ones we should be worried about. The real secrets are the ones held by those in the shadows who orchestrate these attacks. The next time you see them trying to corner a patriot, demanding answers to their fabricated questions, remember this moment. Remember the fury, the fight, and the refusal to back down. Because in the end, the truth they can't handle is the one the American people already know. Donald J. Trump fights for them. And that is a truth no camera, no fake document, and no political hack can ever erase.